Well, welcome everybody to Gulf Shores, Alabama. Wildcats playing in the national tournament today. These first couple of games we're playing here at 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock, our pool play games. However, I'm just going to let you know before anybody gets crazy, they don't matter. We already have our bracket that's complete. Bracket is already out. We already know when we're going to play coming up tomorrow, and hopefully we'll start off strong tomorrow and play into Wednesday, and then the tournament wraps up on Wednesday. Wildcats facing off today against their first pool play game, North Mississippi Havoc. They come in with a record of 17-30-2. This is their first game of this pool play tournament, and then they're going to play again coming up at 12:30 a little bit later this afternoon. Once again, Wildcats going to be playing at 11 o'clock today. So that's how that's going to work out. Just a little bit about the North Mississippi Havoc. They have a record, as I mentioned, of 17-30-2. Their biggest hitter is Destiny. She is a right-handed hitter, also followed by Lexi B. They are from Hernando, Mississippi, and I didn't tell them this, but they need to work on some roads in Mississippi. We drove down here, and we ended up coming up through Louisiana. I had to make the stop at Buc-ee's because we're not crazy people, right? I mean, you have to stop at Buc-ee's. If there's a Buc-ee's, you got to stop. So we stopped at Buc-ee's, filled up all our good snacks, and then stayed the night in Ralston, Louisiana. I think a lot of folks stayed in Monroe. A couple of folks stayed in Clinton. But by far, the craziest roads that we traveled were in Mississippi. We went for one town called McGee that was selling 3 black mattresses out of the side of a taco truck. And then we were able, there was only 3, so they had obviously sold several that day. But there were 3 mattresses available there. And then we went by several watermelon stands, saw fruit stands, tomatoes. We had some T-shirt booths, all kinds of cool stuff that we saw on the way down here. But what a drive. What a drive. All right, we're going to get underway here, folks. Leading off for the North Mississippi Havoc will be Charlotte. Kyler Taylor going to be in the circle today for the Wildcats with Payson Mormon behind the plate. Once again, pool play games. Scores today do not matter at 8 or 11. Games have already been established for bracket. Strike one coming from Kyler Taylor. I will post the bracket play games on Facebook for everybody so everybody knows the schedule. But so far today, 8 o'clock, this first game started at 7:49. And then the Wildcats will play once again at 11 this morning. Swing and a miss for strike 2. If you're wondering why our broadcast is so crisp and clear, it is because we have the help of Elon Musk in our broadcast today with Starlink. Hit over to the shortstop, Corey Burson, who makes the pop fly catch for out number 1. Out one for the Wildcats. As I was talking about, we have something called Starlink. How we got into Gulf Shores, Alabama with no cell service, I won't know. But thankfully, Chris Johnson, Stillman's dad, the twins' grandpa, has saved the day. Strike one from Taylor. This is Allie batting for the North Mississippi Havoc. She has cool orange shoes on. Orange pinstripe suits with, I believe, purple pinstripes down the side. Ball too high for ball 1. So 1-1 count here to Allie. Hit over to the third baseman, Elena Driscoll. Driscoll makes the throw. Not in time. She is called safe. Here comes Kalea. Strike call for Kyler Taylor. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Payson keeps the runner there at 1. Outside pitch called for a ball. Payson's throw to 2. It's there, but not in time. It's called safe. 1-2 the count here to Kalia. Outside pitch called for a ball. Dirt fields here in Alabama. Hit over the shortstop's head. Going to roll into the outfield. KJ's going to pick it up. Throw it in. But the Havoc will get one across the plate here. So a nice base hit there from Kalia. Here comes Aubrey. One out for the Wildcats. 1-0 the score here. Inside pitch called for ball 1. That one's inside for ball 2. Runner on second in scoring position for the Havoc. Havoc come in with a record of 17-30 from Hernando, Mississippi. Outside pitch called for ball 3. Inside pitch called for ball 4. Here comes Priscilla. I can already tell I'm going to love the Mississippi accents. It's already my favorite thing here. Let's run a while. Ball called too high there for ball 2. Hit over to third base. Elena Driscoll makes the catch easily. Then throws it to second, though. Hadley French not there. Ball now coming to home. Also gets past Payson. But out was out at 2, so that would be out number 3 for the Wildcats, so no harm done there. Wildcats now going to have an opportunity to bat themselves. So most of us got into town on Friday. So when everybody gets to town on Friday, most of us got here on Friday and came down. Saturday was the biggest event that we've had. That was the pin trading ceremony on Saturday. We had that at a place called The Wharf. So all the girls... We have a bee bias. We don't kill bees, but it's a honeybee, so we're going to ask it to kindly leave. Little bumblebee. But so we went to pin trading at the Wharf. We also had a big opening ceremonies. Girls walked down the boulevard in the parade, showed off their Wildcat gear. So that's what we did on Saturday. Last night we went to a place called Lulu's. It's a big kind of entertainment park, I would say. You can play volleyball. They've got some sand courts volleyball. Of course, our girls took the wiffle ball and played softball the whole time they were there. They challenged some baseball boys until one of the Wildcats hit it into the river. But thankfully, Kaylee, Corey's mom, had an extra wiffle ball in her car, so she was able to keep the game going. You'll be happy to know the Wildcats were extremely serious in playing those baseball boys and smashed them into the ground. So that was pretty much fun. Had a little seafood last night. So it's been a fun time. We have not been to the beach yet. Now, some of the families have had the opportunity to go to the beach. Our hotel that we're staying at has a shuttle that will take us back and forth. But yesterday, There was a couple of folks that went to the beach. Devin's older sisters were at the beach, and it poured rain. I mean, it was pouring for a good amount of time. So they had to get their shuttle and head back to the hotel. But we've had pretty good weather. It's hot. It is incredibly humid here. But it's nice this morning. It's about 80 degrees, sunny, high of 95 expected today. Main thing is the humidity. We do not have the wind here in Gulf Shores, which is nice because I don't miss the wind except for when it's 105, and then I will miss the wind. However, you'll be happy to know that we have a ceiling fan in our tent. So if we could not be, I said if we don't make a spectacle, we're not trying hard enough, and we are doing it, kids. We are ahead of the game. Leading things off for the Wildcats will be Kyler Taylor. Outside pitch called for a ball. Second pitch too high for Kyler Taylor, ball 2. One to nothing the score here. This is the bottom of the first. Wildcats are the home team, so this is their first opportunity at bat. We did start a little bit early, started this game at 7:49. Pool play games 60 minutes long. Bracket play games starting tomorrow are 65 minutes. Do you remember what our first bracket game is tomorrow? What time do we play? Pitch on the way to Kyler. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Two 2-1 pitch on the way here to Taylor. That's ball 4. So Kyler gets to take a walk. Here comes Crossley Marple. Wildcats did participate into some challenges yesterday. Kyler did some base running. Crossley did the home run derby and base running. I believe Kyler and Corey and Stella all did the pitching contest. PJ did the throwdown contest. We have not heard the results of any of those contests yet. We're expecting an email out a little bit later, but that was fun too, doing some fun drills and challenges for the Wildcats. Here comes Crossley Marple. That one's too high for a ball, and Kyler Taylor takes off to 2. Arrives there in plenty of time. Pitch too high for Marple for ball 2. Kyler Taylor's safe there at 3. Wildcats will play their first bracket game on Tuesday at 9:30. Tuesday at 9:30. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Too high for ball 3, I believe. It's a 3-1 count here to Marple. Watch it. High pop fly over to third base. She makes the catch for out number 1. Here comes Devin D-Money Poff for the Wildcats. Dev participated in home run derby yesterday as well. They took him out to the middle of the outfield and saw how many they could hit out. Strike 1 to Devin. I believe Devin, PJ, KJ, Stella, Crossley participated in that challenge. They did around the horn challenge yesterday as well, but once again, we don't have those results yet. So when we find out those, we'll pass them along. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Also going to be trying to do some player interviews throughout this tournament. I was smart enough not to do them for the 8 o'clock game, Because if you guys know, the Wildcats don't love the 8 o'clock games. So being that I'm not sure what they're all going to say anyway, I thought our best bet would be to wait for the 11 o'clock game. Inside pitch called for a ball. Kyler's sneaky there on third. She'll sneak. Second they throw it, she's headed to home. Ball gets past the pitcher this time. So Kyler going to come across the plate to help D-Money there. So 1-1 the score now. Inside pitch called for a ball to Devin. Two the count here to Devin Poff. Devin Poff and Crossley Marple wrapped up UCO softball camp. Devin got, I believe, the FAST award. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And out number 2 for the Wildcats. Here comes Kinsley Johnson for the Wildcats. KJ, Payson, PJ, and Hadley all on deck. 2 outs. Umpire's going to come visit with the pitcher, it looks like, for a minute. Or give her pitching card. Oh, rosin bag. I'm camped out right behind home plate, so I can't see our pitcher over the umpire. Ball's too high there for ball 1 to KJ. Outside pitch too high once again, ball 2. One to one the score, Wildcats versus the Mississippi Havoc. Pitch on the way to Kinsley Johnson. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Too high for ball 3. Got our tent set up here. Got our ceiling fan in our tent. Got our Starlink service. We're killing it over here. KJ's going to take a walk for ball 4. Here comes Payson Mormon for the Wildcats. One to one the score. Havoc going to take a minute to huddle up, talk to their pitcher. North Mississippi Havoc from Hernando, Mississippi, come in with a record of 17-30. Looks like we're going to swap out our pitcher for a minute. Let her take some warm-ups. This is going to be Charlotte in the circle once again for the Havoc. So yeah, as I mentioned, I have AT&T service. Didn't have very many bars, so we were worried about the broadcast because we know there's some folks, moms, dads, grandparents, cousins, aunts, and uncles that wanted to watch the broadcast back home that couldn't make the trip. And so Stillman's dad, Chris, hooked us up with something called Starlink, which is a satellite Wi-Fi. So that's what we have here at the park. We've got it all set up. Beautiful connection. And now we'll be able to broadcast all the games so you guys can see those. You can see the player interviews. Wildcats play once again this morning at 11, and then their first bracket game will take place tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. This is a double elimination tournament. Difference in, this is the Wildcats' second nationals. We went to Iowa last year. Different states have different rules. It was strange for us in Iowa last year because you played with 10, so you had a rover, extra person in the outfield. There was no drop strike 3 either, and you could not steal home. Pitch is inside. KJ takes off for 2 and gets there. Payson Mormon's going to watch ball 1 go by. Tied up at 1 apair. Payson Mormon in the batter's box for the Wildcats.
Here you go, Payson.
Ball way too high. Throw to third is in time, but it's okay. KJ wasn't going. She saw it coming in. Helicopter flying overhead. Inside pitch. Another ball. Here comes KJ, so they make the mistake of overthrowing 3, and it costs them run number 2. So good hustle from KJ as she gets home, puts another one up for the Wildcats. Score now 1-2. Looks like Payson gets hit with the pitch, so she'll take a base. Here comes Peyton Johnson. PJ's ready in the batter's box. Charlotte, the pitcher for Mississippi. She's going to hit that one over down the third base line for a foul ball. Also, you guys will be happy to know there is an air conditioning unit in the Wildcat dugout thanks to Stillman. So when I tell you that we're extra, I am not making that up. Outside pitch called for a ball. Payson takes 2. It's one of those, I think it's a Deion Sanders icy breeze unit. So if you're worried about them getting too hot, they have 2 big water jugs. They're in there and hydrated. We made sure we got plenty of water in the dugout. And now they have their own air conditioner. Tying some shoes out in the field. They're on second base. My favorite. Big hit out the Wildcats. Wildcats on top 1-3. Is it an out? Oh, they called her out at third. Okay, he said the run does count. I'm going to ask. Blue, did the run count? It's 2-1. Okay. She stepped out of the batter, and that is what happened there. So still 1-2 is the score. Up for the North Mississippi Havoc, I believe, will be Autumn. Haven't had a chance to check out the concession stand. We're playing in Foley, Alabama today. Most of the team staying in Orange Beach at Hotel in Orange Beach, so that's where we're camped out at. A couple of the members of the team have condos, made kind of a family vacation of the deal. Invite their family and friends up to sail time, go out to the beach a little bit. So the Wildcats are going to have some downtime a little bit later today. Probably going to do some beachy type things. So I mentioned we have a shuttle that will take us back and forth. And then you can just walk to the beach too, but it strangely does rain here every day. It and then just literally lives on. It came on here yesterday afternoon when we were kind of wrapping up the skills competition. That started at 12. We got done at 1:30. I mentioned all the in place in form of skills competition, but we have not heard the results just yet. I'll pass those along when we find out. When we were getting ready to leave, it started raining hard. Big, fat raindrops. I know I'm making everybody in Oklahoma jealous because we need the rain, and it's so hot in Oklahoma right now. But it rained quite a bit, and I had forgotten that these fields were dirt. But they had already had them graded. Looked really nice today. Had them re-chalked. So they were ready for us when we got out here today. And now we will go back to play with Kyler Taylor in the circle and Payson Moorman behind the plate for the Wildcats. Here comes Autumn for the Mississippi Havoc. Wildcats on top 1-2. As I mentioned, these are pool play games. Pool play games are 60 minutes long, but they also do not matter. We already have our bracket laid out and ready to play. These are just to get the team some practice, get them some experience. So whoever wins this game really makes no difference. Strike one called from Taylor. Wildcats will play at 11 for pool play game number 2 and then kick off their bracket game tomorrow at 9:30. Outside pitch called for a ball. Strike 2 call. Outside pitch called for a ball. One to 2 the score. No outs. Wildcats on top. Base hit between short and third will roll out to left field. Ball thrown in quickly. Stella Malik with the good job in left field, throwing the ball in quickly to get it in. Here comes Peyton Fisher. So Peyton will step in and get ready. Taylor's first pitch on the way goes foul. As Peyton fouls it off to her own dugout. Ball quickly comes back into Kyler Taylor. Wildcats on top 1-2. This is the bottom of the second. Excuse me, top of the second. Inside pitch called for a ball. Nice throw from Payson Moorman to 2. Forget out number 1 for the Wildcats. As she went, and she got thrown out. Ball hit back to the pitcher. Hadley comes to get it quickly, and she is out as well. So a quick recovery from Hadley French as she scoops it up and makes the play at 2. Pitch on the way here. Too high for a ball. Ball hit to Hadley French. She'll scoop it up easily, make the throw to Sadie Lanier for out number 3. So the Havoc don't get any this time. Wildcats will have another opportunity here. One, two, the score. Nice day here today, but we know it's going to get hot, and we know it's going to get humid. That's the big thing here. Rain usually comes through in the afternoon and cools things off, but right now it's 81. Sunny skies expected the rest of the day here in Foley, Alabama, with a high of 96. Lows in the evening in the mid to upper 70s. Low tonight expected of 76. And then tomorrow when the Wildcats kick off their bracket play games for Nationals, high of only 92 expected. Big cool down. Big cool down from the 96 to the 92, right? Low of 78. Wednesday, high of 90 with a 45% chance of rain and a low of 77. Wildcats versus the North Mississippi Havoc. So I mentioned some interesting towns as we were driving through Mississippi. We can advise you to not stop at the Loves outside of Mobile. Not because it's not great, because it is, and we love Loves, but bathroom line it's got to be one of the most popular truck stops ever right there, because there is a lot of folks that stop off. It's going to take you a minute. You need to go to the bathroom is what I'm saying to you. Don't be in a rush. Good snacks, but it's going to take you a minute to go in and out of the bathroom. So I believe this will be the third pitcher we've seen today for North Mississippi. As the pink face mask lets me know that they have traded it up. I believe Hadley's going to lead things off for the Wildcats. It'll be Hadley, Elena, Corey, Sadie, and Stella wrapping up the Wildcat lineup. Looks like we're ready to go back to play here. Riley now going to be the pitcher for the Havoc. Game started at 7:49. These games are 1 hour long. So we did start a little bit early. Hadley's going to lead things off for the Wildcats. So here comes Hadley. Hit over to third base. It's going to get by the third baseman, so Hadley drops in a base hit. She decides to make it 2 as she takes second base as well. Here comes Elena Driscoll for the Wildcats. One to 2 the score. Wildcats on top. So Driscoll gets ready to step back in the batter's box for the Wildcats, with Hadley French back there on 2. Ball too high for Driscoll. Throw made at third. Hadley going to be walked back to second. Driscoll back ready. Pitch on the way. Outside for a ball, and Hadley French going to steal 3. So Driscoll will step back in. French in scoring position there on third for the Wildcats. Wildcats lead 2-1. Outside pitch called for a ball. Outside pitch called for ball 4, and Driscoll will take a walk. Here comes Corey Burson for the Wildcats. Outside pitch. It's by the catcher, so Driscoll will take 2. Hadley going to stay put at third. So Corey's going to step back in here. Ball hit to shortstop. Throw made to first is in time, so Corey will be out. Driscoll will stay back there at 2. And Hadley French scores 1 for the Wildcats.
There you go, Sadie.
Here comes Sadie Lanier. 3-1 the score here today. Wildcats play once again at 11. Outside pitch for ball 1. He did call that a strike? Okay. Sorry, that was a strike. My bad. That was a ball. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Driscoll goes back to second.
Sadie, you got 2 on you.
1-2 the count here to Sadie Lanier with 1 out. Wildcats on top 3-1 over the North Mississippi Havoc. Hit over the second baseman. That's going to drop in for a base hit for Sadie Lanier. And here comes Elena Driscoll. So Driscoll puts up number 4. Sadie Lanier with an RBI. Stella Malwick, the batter. So Stella ready. She'll step in. Outside pitch is called for a ball. Lanier stays put on 1. Wildcats now on top 4-1. Not sure if we'll switch fields, come back for the 11 o'clock game, or if we play on this field. Inside pitch called for a ball, and Lanier is going to steal second. Looks like we'll play on this field once again at 11. Pitch on the way to Stella, inside for a ball. 3-0 the count here to Stella Malwick. Too high for ball 4, and Stella takes a walk. Just came by and dropped off some water for the umpires. It's going to be a hot day today. Want to make sure everybody stays hydrated. No water park or a splash pad at this particular field. This field has several fields at it, batting cages so you can warm up. Kyler Taylor back to the top of the lineup for the Wildcats. With just one out, pitches outside. Lanier will stay at second. Stella there at first. Outside pitch for ball 2. Pitch on the way to Taylor's, a swing and a miss. Lanier is going to take off for third. Gets past the third baseman, so she is safe on arrival. Stella on first, Lanier on third in scoring position. Wildcats lead 1-4 over the Mississippi Havoc. Havoc play again today at 12:30. Wildcats play again at 11. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Taylor ready in the box. Pitch on the way. Called for a ball. Game started at 7:49, 60 minutes long. Have a scoreboard, but we're not keeping score on it. Out in the outfield. It's turned on. Inside pitch, called for a ball, and Kyler Taylor will take a base. It's her second walk of the day. Here comes Crossley Marple. Marple popped out to third. Her first at bat. Looking for a base hit right here. Marple did well in the home run derby contest yesterday. Hit 4 out of the field and a couple that got the fence, so she scored pretty well, but we don't know what the score is. Have not heard the results yet. Another new pitcher for the Havoc. Take a few warm-up pitches here. Wildcats on top 4-1. There's just one out. Lanier's there on third. Malwick's back on 2 in scoring position. Game started at 7:49. We'll play 60 minutes today. And tomorrow, as the Wildcats start bracket play, you get 65 minutes. They play tomorrow at 9:30. We'll be broadcasting all the games thanks to our Starlink service here. Previously, we had very little internet here. Well, no internet for sure, but I didn't have good cell service. And it's kind of hit or miss with both AT&T and Verizon, but it's not hit or miss with Starlink. So we appreciate the effort in getting these ball games on the air from Chris and Stillman Johnson helping us out here today and making sure everybody gets to watch. Outside pitch swung on and missed from Marple. Little dog taking a walk outside the fence in the outfield. Pitch on the way. She'll hit that one right back to the pitcher, but it gets off her glove. So Marple will arrive safely on one, and Sadie Lanier will put run number 5 across for the Wildcats. Here comes Devin Poff. Devin struck out her last at-bat, looking for a base hit here today. Bases loaded here for Poff. Stella Malwick there on third. She'll hit one over to first base, pick it up, tag her bag for out number one, but Stella gets across the plate. So out two for the Wildcats, but D-Money gets an RBI with Stella. And here comes Kinsley Johnson. KJ took a walk her last at bat.
Here we go, KJ.
So KJ going to get ready and step on into the batter's box. Wildcats on top 6-1 over the North Mississippi Havoc. They are from Hernando, Mississippi. Here comes Kinsley Johnson. Big pop out to center field. Will drop in for a base hit. And Kyler Taylor will score, and Crossley Marple will score, and that will be 6 runs this inning. For me.
Hey, Blue, that's 6.
It is. So 6 runs put across the board for the Wildcats. They now lead 8-1. So the Wildcats with a big inning that time. Got their bats going. Havoc having a little trouble in the circle today, as we've seen 4 pitchers so far. How are you? Not too terribly hot just yet. Only 81 right now. High of 96 expected. It's going to get warm for sure. We know it's going to get humid, and it'll probably rain at some point. That's kind of what's been happening. We've got little showers that kind of pop up throughout the day. All of a sudden, no cloud cover, and then here come the clouds, and skies open up with big raindrops. Rained most of the evening. Really, after the skills competition, it rained pretty consistently. Till about 6 o'clock that evening. Wildcats had a team building session at Lulu's. Went and played a little sand volleyball and had some supper. But there was a lot of people there, so we had a pretty long wait, and most of the tables, as it was raining just a little bit. So we wiped those off, had some good food, some good drinks. Wildcats had a big time playing wiffle ball softball against some baseball boys and making them pay fiercely. Lexi will be the first batter back for the Wildcats. I believe Stella Malwick is going to come in the circle for the Wildcats this time. Trade out with Kyler Taylor, so she's getting her armband on. Crossley Marple in at first there. Pool play games today, but as I mentioned, they do not matter. Bracket's already out. Wildcats already know where they stand in the bracket and where they're going to play. It's based on their record, not necessarily their pool play games. So this game basically just for experience, warm-ups, practice, whatever you'd like to call it. Wildcats will kick off their first bracket-ready game tomorrow at 9:30 here in Foley, Alabama. Val, how was your drive? Oh, you flew. How was that? But I'm wondering, so I'm talking to Val. She's a friend from Thomas, Oklahoma. Are you playing with Bedlam? Is that who you're playing? You're playing with Drive, but isn't? Okay, they're going to Branson. So she flew, but how do you get the softball bags through? Smart. Okay, so see, that's what you have to do, folks. If you're going to fly, you have to send all your equipment with somebody else. But it is so smart because there's going to be people that are driving for sure, and if they have enough room, you can just send the softball bag with them and go. It had to be better because the drive is not great. It's okay. You check the bat bags. I could see that. Florida would be a bit of a drive as well. So Lexi going to start things off for the Havoc. Stella Malwick in the circle for the Wildcats now. Kyler Taylor did a good job pitching earlier. Wildcats put up 6 runs in 1 inning. They lead 8-1 with Lexi at the bat. Outside pitch called for ball 1. Picked up all of our swag yesterday. Of course, when you come to these national tournaments, you got to have the swag. Got a couple of T-shirts, some trading pins. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Swing and a miss for strike 2 to Lexi. So 1-2 the count here to Lexi. That one's going to be called a ball. Good spot to miss. Outside pitch called for a ball. Full count here to Lexi. Swing and a miss for strike 3 and cleanly caught. Eight to 1. 8-1 the score, Wildcats on top. This would be the top of the 3rd. This is Riley batting for the Havoc. Sadie Lanier, who plays first base for the Wildcats, her older sister Bella is here playing with Drive. Not playing this particular field, but there's a couple of options here to play in Alabama. So they're going to get some beach time this evening. Pitch on the way is called for a strike. 2-1 the count here to Riley. Strike 2. Wildcats on top 8-1. That one's called for a ball. Pitch on the way. Fouled off. Pitch on the way. Will be called ball 4, and Riley will take a walk. Here comes Maggie for the Mississippi Havoc. Wildcats on top 8-1. That one's called a balk for ball 1.
There you go, Stella.
Outside pitch called for a ball. Got to stop for some shoe tying. We've already threatened Crossley Marple with this. Her dad has tied her shoes today. She tried to tell us that she could tie her shoes, and we said, no, you can't. You can tie them, but you cannot tie them successfully to stay tied. So we tied them for her, and they should not come undone. But you'll see this several times. I feel like there's a lot of shoe tying sessions with this age group. Pitch called for a strike. Strike 2 call. So Maggie's going to have to swing her bat here. This is the top of the 3rd inning. Pitch called for a ball. Good spot to miss. 3-2 count here to Maggie. Pitch on the way. Strike call. So Stella gets the strikeout. Back to the top of the lineup we go. Excuse me, this is the pitcher. Ball hit for foul. Two outs, 1-8. The score, Wildcats on top. That one's called for a ball. Swing and a miss for a strike. Got a little bit of a breeze now here in Foley. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 and out number 3. So Stella racks up her third strikeout of the game. Wildcats lead 8-1. Havoc did not get any that time. Wildcats will have another opportunity here. As I mentioned, this game got underway about 7:49, so we have about 3 minutes left to play. Wildcats are the home team. I don't think it particularly matters much in pool play, as they'll just call time, and that'll be the end of that. 7 minutes. Okay, 7 minutes left, he said. Thank you, Blue. Oh, 70. Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you. 70-minute game. So we have 11 minutes left. Thank you to Blue for setting us straight on that. So we will get to play another inning. Wildcats will have an opportunity to put a couple of more up there. Tomorrow, as we start bracket games, those games will be 75 minutes long. We started a little bit early today, which is nice, because anytime you can run early or on time, that's the best case scenario. Now we're going to see another new pitcher for the Mississippi Havoc, which, as I mentioned, this is a good time. This is a good time to throw all your pitchers. These pool play games do not matter. It doesn't matter if you win or lose them. So you can get out, let some girls get some experience, let some girls get some time in the circle. It's only going to make them better pitchers. Gives the Wildcats an opportunity to bat against different types of pitchers. So as I mentioned, I think this is the 5th one that we've seen from the Havoc, but it's a great time to get that experience when you know there's not really anything on the line. You don't really have to care if you lose or win this particular game in pool play. Of course, Wildcats are always going to want to win. They wanted to win the wiffle ball game last night when they tapped off against the baseball boys, and it was going super well until that foul ball went in the river. Then it just went downhill after that. But as I mentioned, we found another wiffle ball. Played a little bit of that, played a little bit of sand volleyball. Had a good guy playing on the mic, some live music last night at Lulu's. I'm not sure what's all on tap today for the Wildcats, but I'm guessing it's going to be some time at the beach with their buddies. A little bit of time in the swimming pools for sure, as it's going to be plenty hot today. Trying to make sure our umpires are hydrated. Coach Colton said, man, it's going to be hot with all that gear on. Our umpire said, I can't even wear it. It's just too much. I'm 320 alone. Leave me alone. He's got to stay cool. We got to keep him cool. Got to keep the kids cool. Got to keep the umpires cool for sure. Yeah, here's Payson Moorman. Back to bat. She was hit by a pitch her first time in the box. Inside pitch called for a ball. High pop fly to the pitcher. She will make the catch for out number 1. Here comes PJ. PJ would have had a triple out of the deal, but they said she stepped out of the batter's box when she hit it, so they did not count the run. So she's looking to make up for that right now. She'll hit that one to the pitcher for out number 2. So here comes Hadley French. Hadley with a good base hit, her last at bat. Hit over to third base. Got past the third baseman, so she ended up getting a double out of the deal. Going to wait for a stray ball. Stray ball has come onto the field. Got to throw that back. We don't even know where it came from. Maybe the batting cages? So Hadley with her Wildcat braids in today. Red, white, and blue colors for the Wildcats. Inside pitch called for a ball. Wildcats with 2 outs. Foul ball tipped by French. It also says field 10, but I'm assuming this is going to be the new field 10 since nobody's playing on field 10. So Hadley will get ready and step back in. That one almost got her in the head. She ducks out of the way for a ball. Two balls, 1 strike the count here to Hadley French for the Wildcats. She'll swing and miss that one. Here comes Hadley French. Too high for a ball. Full count. Go Wildcats, go Wildcats, go! Inside pitch called for ball 4, and Hadley French will take a walk. Here comes Elena Driscoll. Driscoll took a walk her last at bat. 2 outs, Wildcats lead 8-1. First pitch to Driscoll on the way. She'll hit that one over to the dugout. Wildcats will have an opportunity for a snack after this game. Pitch too high for a ball. Pitch on the way to Driscoll is inside and hit her, so she will take a base. They are from Hernando, Mississippi. Eight to 1, 2 outs. Corey Burson batting for the Wildcats with runners on first and second. Outside pitch called for a ball. Throw to 3. Now it flies over, and Hadley French says thank you for that one. She'll take third and also fire it on home. Right across the plate she goes. That is obstruction. But it still counts for run number 9. Don't know for sure that I'd want to run into the catcher. 9-1, Corey Burson batting for the Wildcats. Pitch called for a strike. Driscoll back there on 2, sneaking.
There you go, Corey.
Pitch on the way to Burson. She'll hit that one over to the pitcher. Scoops it up. Out number 3 for the Havoc. So the Wildcats get 1. 9-1 is the score. Wildcats versus the North Mississippi Havoc from Hernando, Mississippi. They said the drive for them wasn't bad at all. I said, well, we do not feel the same way. We did not feel the same way. They said it was about an hour and a half wherever Hernando, Mississippi is, so not too far here from Foley, Alabama. A lot of things kind of got switched around a little bit. We were supposed to have opening ceremonies on Sunday when everybody came into town, but they found out there was a concert that was going to be held at the amphitheater where they do all the pin trading when we got into town, so we had to move that to Saturday. They had to make sure they were in town by Saturday now, since we did all the pin trading on Saturday afternoon. Threw out some Mardi Gras beads, threw out some T-shirts at the opening ceremonies. Wildcats all had their gear on, their national shirts. Walked down Main Street for a big parade. Lots of noisemakers and fun things going on there. And then we walked over to a seafood restaurant. Had some fantastic seafood pasta. A lot of folks have been having crab legs while they're here, blue crab, dozen oysters on a half shell. There's a lot of good options for seafood here in the Gulf. Hurricane thankfully staying away from us until we leave town, so that's the good news. So we'll go back to play here. Game started at 7:49. These games are 70 minutes long, we found out. So we'll take a moment, get the plate wiped off. And I believe the Havoc will be back to the top of their... I hope this will be their... This is Brindley for the Havoc. Inside pitch called for a ball. Hey, Gigi, we don't need any sound effects over there. Said we don't need any sound effects over there, Gigi. Swing and a miss for strike 1. One count here to Brindley. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Havoc wearing their orange pinstripes, purple pinstripes down the side, purple socks, purple bows. Some of them even have orange shoes. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Now we go back to the top of the lineup for the Wildcats. Outside pitch called for a ball. Pitch number 2 on the way to Charlotte. She will golf that one over to the Wildcat dugout. Swing and a miss. Payson will pick it up and throw it back. Actually, this is Hadley getting to play catcher right now. So Hadley in behind the plate. Charlotte at the bat. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 and out number 1 for the Wildcats. 2. Oh, that's right. She struck out 2, didn't she? So 2 strikeouts for Stella. And this is Ailey up to bat. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Ailey had a base hit to third, her last at bat. She'll hit it to shortstop. Burson gets a glove on it, but it will roll out to center field, where Kyler Taylor picks it up and throws it back in. Here comes Kalia. Kalia had a base hit to left field, her first at bat. Two outs. Wildcats on top, 9-1. Runner goes to 2. Hadley French throws it. She is called safe. Pitch on the way to Kalia. Strike call for Stella. Marple playing first now. D-Money playing 2. Hadley behind the plate. Stella batting in the circle. KJ playing third. And Corey Burson playing short. Sadie with that's KJ, excuse me. She's going to have to run and get that one as a big hit from Kalia off the bat. We're going to get it in quickly. One will come across the plate. It may be a home run as she's going to go ahead and run it in. And it certainly is as she gets there and across. So a 2-run home run for Kalia. Good base hit. Here comes Aubrey. Wildcats still on top 9-3 with 2 outs. Once again, these are pool play games. We already know this where we're going to land in bracket. So these are just kind of for experience and fun at this point. Pitch called for a strike for Stella. Aubrey will step back in. She took a walk her last at bat. That pitch is outside for a ball. Wildcats traveling in style. Have an air conditioner in the dugout. 2 big gallons of water, jugs. Then all the fans. We have pitch from Stella called a strike. We have all of our tents set up, fans set up. So pretty mild and awesome out here right now. We know it's going to get hot a little bit later. Foul tip back for another strike. Aubrey will step back in and get ready. Swing and a miss for strike 3 and out number 3. We play back at this same field. It says we play on field 10, but we have not played on field 10 because it's a baseball field. So I think we'll be back at this same exact field when we play at 11. But the Wildcats win that one 9-3. We will see you guys back here at 11 for the second pool play game of the day. Wildcats win.